Thank you very much for the opportunity to come and speak to this beautiful women in the house. I never knew that, but let me say I learned at least from today that women, they sing very nice, but I never knew that you cannot sing with a bass, loud voice. I learned as you were singing. I said, but yeah, I can hear, but there is something running short out of this song, But let me first greet you, all of you who are in this house. That thanks for inviting me to this occasion. And first, let me thank you, Program Director, Ms. Jolingana. I know you operationally where me and you work from. The Tanzanian Deputy Chief of Immigration, Anna Makakala, the CEO of this place where we are, Ms. Chris Foster in absentia, the President of the International Association of Women Police, Mr. Friedrich, the Second Vice President of IAWP, Dr. Leah Mufume, or Dr. General Leah Mufume, as we call you in our space. This thing keep on going down. I think I got it right. Yeah, I think I got it right. Thanks. Also, Dr. Singh, the CEO of the stadium, women in law enforcement that are in this, attended this occasion, academics and scholars, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, all the protocol is observed. And once more, good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
I'm particularly happy that the IAWP aims to promote the advancement of women in law enforcement and to create a platform to celebrate women achievements and to share best practices. There are certain things I know that we don't want to mention it, but be assured that wherever we have you women as leaders, or we have you working side by side with men, you always create that climate of good working environment and of course advisory at the same time. Program Director, without wasting time, please allow me to share with this conference the successes in terms of women advancement in the South African Police Service. We are not only priding ourselves as a country, but we think we have made quite some strides. And evident to this is when one goes internationally at various forums that we attend. That's where you realize that as a country, we actually have outdone ourselves, but we happen not to recognize that ourselves locally. South African Police Service, since democracy, the undemocracy of since 1994, we have progressed quite significantly in the advancement of women and the empowerment of women. Sure, you heard earlier when Brigadier Shumani was giving some feedback that within this very short time frame of less than 30 years, we have advanced in almost all the ranks within South African Police Service in terms of the empowerment of women. As you heard, within the ranks of Lieutenant Generals, we are already at the 50-50 representation. And in our endeavor to advance the women empowerment agenda in the service, I'm happy this morning to let you know that with provincial commissioners, we are over 50%. As you are aware, we have 9 provinces in South Africa, and 5 of those provincial commissioners are women. Having women serve in various roles within the SAPS is something we need to all celebrate as an organization. We also have having women occupy positions of leadership in our midst. We're saying it is not a tick box exercise because we empower them before they get to those positions. They're empowered same way as our male colleagues. They go same courses as our male colleagues. Both academic and operationally, we do have women. Further to this, we take note that, we have a multidisciplinary task team that has been established to combat aggravated robberies, especially cash in transit heist in this country for the past 5 years, and it is led by a woman. It is not surprising because SAPS has also had women leading from the front, and I know that General Dr. Mfume was only very early in her 30s when she was appointed the Deputy National Commissioner of Physical Resources back then in the 2011. We indeed had a remarkable achievement on all counts. It is also worth noting that under the guidance of the organization's first female Chief Financial Officer appointed a couple of years ago, South African Police Service have moved from a qualified audit opinions in the language of the auditors to an unqualified audit opinions in recent years. And this was done, led by a Chief Financial Officer who is also a woman. These women in senior positions in the SAPS, they are playing a very critical role. They are not given positions on a silver platter. They work very hard to earn this post where they are. There is more especially so because in our pursuit to the advancement of women agenda in SAPS, we are promoting women to also very difficult operational environments where previously there was only men. SAPS has to date reached a significant milestone, including the preservation of 40% of all training initiatives being preserved for women to ensure that their upward mobility and accession to the middle and senior management position is guaranteed at all times. Moreover, to our resolve to ensure women in the SAPS, we are well equipped for the rewarding career in policing. We have in the organization a structure called Women Network. As the Dr. earlier said, you must connect and you must network. It is very true that Don't talk to the colleague that you talk to every day, because there is nothing new that you're going to gain. You'll always be on the same level as you were yesterday. So endeavor to network and make sure that you always empower yourself with new information. Because by staying with your colleague that you are with daily means routine. There is nothing new coming. It always says, those that knows that the way you see a problem is a problem. So associating with new people, associating with, sharing with strangers or new colleagues, you'll always get empowered. And the way you might have been looking at what you call as a problem, you might start looking at it differently, and you will be able to resolve it much more better. So South African Police Service have got a structure called Women Network, which is purpose is to forge strong bonds between women in the South African Police Service, ensure that women in leadership positions help mentor one another at low levels, and also ensure that women see themselves as equal to their male counterparts. Some of the objectives of this structure are to facilitate career advancement of women through leadership training, to develop an assertive cadre of women leaders capable of independent thinking, thereby contributing to quality service delivery, and most importantly, to align women's network activities to government's initiative with a view to improve the overall quality of lives of women. In the establishment of this women network, we have resulted in tangible outcomes as we experience a breakthrough, since more and more women are now occupying roles that were previously occupied by their male-dominated in the past. We have a number of special forces within the South African Police Service. One elite one being the Special Task Force, followed by one which does medium to high risk operations, which is called the National Intervention Unit. Already those elite units do have women in their ranks. And in all other specialized forces, you will always find women amongst the male counterparts. I refer to those units which are the following: your bomb disposal, your K9, which is a dock unit, your air wing. Most of our pilots, 50% of them are women that are flying us around the country. So today, the SAPS Women Network can pride itself that the programs that we put together with management to advance the agenda of women have succeeded. As I'm speaking now, as you are aware that I served for 10 years as the Deputy National Commissioner for Operations, my successor is a woman by the name of Lieutenant General Mosekedi. She's the first woman Deputy Commissioner for Policing in South Africa. So that just shows how far we regard women and how far South African Police Service empower women. As the conference continued program director, I hope the delegates will reflect on the important role women still need to play in the police environment, and how we as policing and law enforcement organization can continue to create a better working condition for women, and so that we can not left them behind as the world moves forward with speed. We must be always there and be counted. South African Police Service, we are forever checking our blind spot and ensure that we take everybody on board at all times. And of course, thanks to the stadium for having a policing, law enforcement and policing program that empowers our young men and women to always continue studying, because if you don't study, you will always then remain behind. But just before I conclude, also let me also share with you that the advancement of women also have got its own challenges, and I hope and believe is one of the things that you reflect on as you are meeting here today, which is that quite often, not all the time, quite often you find some elements amongst us as women which, as soon as they advance to higher positions, they want to shut the door for all other women to get chosen. I'm giving you this as a challenge that you need to reflect on it as to what are the causes of that. Because you don't find it amongst the men form. You only find it amongst the women. But as I said, not all women, but some women, they'll always make sure they shut the door and do all sorts of things to distract, to have any other women come close by. I hope that the women who are in our midst from SAPS will share with you their experiences in SAPS in a bid to ensure that policing profession worldwide is conducive environment for women to showcase their leadership capability and to create a safer world for everyone. We hope that as women continue to shatter the proverbial class ceiling in policing, more and more women will be inspired to emulate them, so that in the foreseeable future, the class ceiling will be a thing of the past. I wish you success in this, for the few days that are left in this conference, and I assure you my support at all times, and that take note, we always, as South African Police Service, support the agenda for promoting women. And indeed, we are proud that across the world, as I said, we attend a lot of events. We are one of the very few countries that have advanced so fast in women leadership in terms of policing. Thank you very much for inviting me, and I wish you well as you go along with your regional conference. I thank you very much.